Hello, my name's John, and I'm a storyteller. I love stories. I hope you do as well. And I've got lots of wonderful stories to tell you. I've actually produced a website with all these stories on, www.biblestorycards.co.uk. You can see all my stories. I'm also a bit of a painter, and so I paint pictures to help me tell my stories. I hope you enjoy them. Hello everybody, it's good to be with you again. My name is John and I'm the storyteller. And I've got another story from the Bible. It's right at the very end of the life of Jesus, and it's very important. Because, you see, these things that I'm telling you happened so long ago. Why, 2,000 years and more. And there are people today who would say, I don't know whether we can believe all these stories about Jesus. I need to see the evidence myself. Well, that's understandable. But this story will help you if you're one of those sort of people. You remember that I told you that on the third day, when the women went to the tomb and wondered how the stone was going to be rolled away, they found that it was already rolled away. And the tomb was empty. And Jesus had gone. And one of the people that were there in the garden was a lady called Mary. She was called Mary from Magdala, and she loved Jesus very much with all her heart, like the other disciples. And when she saw there was no body in the tomb, she was in despair. She thought, maybe the gardener has taken him and put him somewhere else, so nobody can steal him. So she saw this man who she thought was the gardener, and she said, if you've taken him, will you tell me where you've laid him and I'll go and collect him? Whether she thought that she could carry a male dead body away, I don't know, but she didn't even think about that. But at that point, the man who she thought was the gardener said, Mary. And she knew that it was Jesus who was speaking to her. Don't touch me, he said. I've got an errand for you. Go back to Jerusalem and tell all my disciples that I've risen from the dead, and I will see them by the Sea of Galilee where we used to meet. Well, she ran and ran as fast as she could, and she went and told all the disciples of Jesus. They were frightened that they were going to be the next one to be killed, and they were hidden behind the locked doors of this upper room. And she said, Jesus has risen, he's alive. Well, at first they couldn't believe it. Can it be true? They'd forgotten that he had said before he died, after 3 days I will rise from the dead and I'll meet you again and I'll never leave you. So Peter and John, well, they decided that they would go and have a look for themselves. We want to see for ourselves, you see. Well, it's not surprising that people would say that. So they ran to the tomb. John's younger than Peter and he was quicker, and he got to the tomb first, and when he looked in, he found the cloths that were covering Jesus were still there, but the body had gone. Peter then went in, pushed past John and saw that it was true that he had risen from the dead. And they went back to the other disciples and they told them that it was true what Mary had said, that he had risen. We've proved it for ourselves, they said. We haven't seen him, but we've seen the place where he was laying. And everybody was so excited and so full of joy. But everyone except one, and that is Thomas. Thomas was one of the disciples of Jesus, but for some reason or other, he wasn't with the others. I don't know why. Perhaps he was fed up with the whole thing and was so downhearted that Jesus had died and gone. But a week later, they were all together again, and this time Thomas was there. Maybe somebody had said, listen, Thomas, you must come and listen to what we've got to say. The Lord is alive. He said, you don't expect me to believe that, do you? Have you seen him? No, we haven't seen him yet. Well, how do you know he's alive then? Listen, I'm not going to believe unless I can put my finger into the holes in his side, into the holes in his hands. I'm not going to believe. I will not believe. And at that point, another appeared in the room. It was Jesus himself. The doors were shut, but he came through the doors because he didn't need, he didn't have a body like he had before. It was now a new body. And he said to Thomas, Thomas, come here. And if you want to, you can put your finger into the holes in my hands, and you can put your hand into the hole in my side that the spear made. And don't be faithless, but believe. Well, Thomas was so ashamed of himself. He bowed on his knees and he said to Jesus, my Lord and my God. And Jesus said, Thomas, because you have seen me, you have believed. He was really saying, you should have believed what the others told you. Because that's what they do now, my followers. They tell people that I'm alive. You are blessed, said Jesus to Thomas, if you could believe having not seen me. And that's why I'm telling you these stories, so that you might believe in Jesus, even though you haven't seen him. There's enough proof in what you read in the Bible, in the story of Jesus and all the others that saw him. There's enough proof for you to say, yes, I believe. And I will do what Thomas did, and I will call Jesus my Lord and my God.